We now have a man that I am very proud to know. About 10 years ago, when I started implementing various programs, Senator Leatherman was there to help me in many areas, financially and otherwise. He assisted me behind the scenes in putting some of these programs together for Veterans Day and Memorial Day here at the cemetery. He also assisted me behind the scenes with a lot of financial help to organize and put together the PD Area Patriotic Parade, which is sponsored and implemented by Detachment 410 of the United States Marine Corps League. And we are very grateful to Senator Leatherman. He has been here to help veterans a great deal. He has lended his support also behind the PD Area Veterans Advisory Council, which started in 2008. We are attempting to organize a unified service through the various veterans groups, as well as disseminating information. So I am proud and thankful to be able to introduce to you our guest speaker, the Honorable Senator Hugh Leatherman.
Thank you, Vice Commander Gabe. On behalf of all that are here, we got this thing going somehow. Y'all may be lucky and not have to listen to me today. That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? But, maybe we can get it to do whatever it ought to be doing. Not sure if I'm holding too high or too low, but getting feedback from somewhere. But we'll deal with that. You know, I want to thank the VFW, the American Legion, the various ROTC and military units, all who have participated in helping make this Memorial Day observance possible. During this annual service, where hundreds of our neighbors gather to thank and celebrate the lives of the many brave men and women who have served, continue to serve our great country, it is only appropriate that we continue to remember the many sacrifices which have been made to preserve the many freedoms we enjoy today. This day is unique in America. Since 1868, people have come together in communities, towns, and villages to honor those who have given their last full measure of dedication and service to their country. We must never forget to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, and we do so at this National Cemetery, designated as such in 1865. To all here who have lost a loved one in the service for America, we salute you, we thank you, and we dedicate this day to you and their memory. We pay special honor to the Gold Star mothers who are with us today. Thank you for your sacrifice to our country, and know that we can never repay for the ultimate sacrifice your son or daughter made for the great freedom of our country. I thank each active member, a veteran of the military, is in attendance today. It's because of your many sacrifices that our country is what it is today. What a beautiful day it is. The United States of America, every day is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day because of the sacrifice of those who are laid to rest here and around the world, fought tyrants, dictators, and terrorists, all to preserve our country's freedom. Every morning we should remember this day is brought about in America by God and the service of those who we honor today. From the founding of our country, service has been the mark that makes the United States different. Those who fought for our independence knew about service. They were farmers and shopkeepers who heeded the call for service. Let's take a look at our own local hero here, General Francis Marion. He heeded the call to service. General Marion, along with a band of volunteers, knew the future of their country and their families depended upon them. They fully believed in the motto of that day, liberty or death, and they believed in service. More than 1 million American service people have heeded the call to service and have died in wars and conflicts. This nation has fought since the colonial soldiers took up arms for independence in 1775, and we honor their service today. Rivers cannot hold the teardrops that have been shed throughout generations for these noble sons and daughters of America. Each is a story, each different and special story, but they share one commonality. Without them, the families who gave them to us, we would not be able to observe this wonderful national holiday. Words cannot do honor, and my words certainly cannot capture their significance. Sir Winston Churchill came close to capturing the spirit manifested in every American in uniform. He said the United States is like a gigantic boiler. Once the fire is lit under it, there is no limit to the power it can generate. That power is unlike anything in history has witnessed. To this day, it illuminates a nation whose power in time and again is used to fuel freedom and generate hope throughout the world. Power that is driven by service to our country. You know, I looked in the dictionary. The dictionary defines service as an act of helpful activity. Well, my fellow Americans, those who are serving in the military and those who have served know the meaning of service. Too many times we as a nation forget how lucky we are to have such brave and wonderful men and women fighting for our freedom and safety. See how lucky you almost were, and didn't realize that the cell phone had me wired up to where it would keep you from hearing me, so I guess you can thank my cell phone for that taking place. But you know, nearly 10 years after the attacks on America, in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania, our country's resolve has remained unbelievably strong. It is because of our freedom, our way of life, and the service of the very brave and strong military that we're the most prosperous country on the face of the earth. As President Ronald Reagan would have said, America is a shining city on a hill whose beacon light guides freedom-loving people everywhere. And it is that shining city upon a hill for which many around the world seek to emulate. For many years, immigrants of all nationalities have sought a chance to share and live the American dream. And while no doubt there's many of us today could trace our ancestry to different foreign lands, the binding element in all of us is a common ideal of American pride and patriotism. Nearly 4 weeks ago today, as many of us were getting ready for bed, we heard the breaking news from Pakistan about the military operation with the capture of Osama bin Laden. As we turned on the TV late night and throughout the next morning, we saw pictures and stories of the impromptu celebrations which broke out in many cities throughout the country. As Americans, we were proud of the bravado of our military, especially that of Navy SEAL Team 6. Matter of fact, most of us at that moment dreamed what it must have been to be a Navy SEAL. But while that moment of having captured the most wanted terrorist in the world represented retribution for many horrible acts, the pride which swelled in our souls simply represented the larger ideal of the American spirit. Being an American citizen is something which many of us were born with, but being a true American hero is something which is not given, but instead earned from a modern way of life. You see, the United States of America is a great place. No though, on second thought, the best place in the world for business, entrepreneurship, and competition of ideas. Our country is a place where hard work breeds success, and where success breeds a better way of life. Each of you here today know the true meaning of being an American, and that is given as a sacrifice for the betterment of us all. For those members of the military who are departed, the word hero does not provide proper depiction of their work and their unending dedication to freedom. To borrow words from the 43rd President of our great nation, and President Bush 2005 inaugural address, he echoed, when the Declaration of Independence was first read in public and the Liberty Bell was sounded, a celebration, a witness said it rang as if it meant something. In our time, it still means something. As our great country enters into a new dawn, our horizon knows no bounds. We will continue to prosper and succeed because of the strong foundation you and the greatest generation have shaped. The service and sacrifice you and your generation instilled in all of our lives is priceless. While we face new challenges, those challenges represent untold and unforeseen opportunities. And those opportunities are the essence of the American spirit. As we look forward, we recognize the future of America is bright and our country's resolve is strong. I ran into a poem that I would like to share with you. It's written by Kelly Strong. Freedom is not free. I watched the flag pass by one day. It fluttered in the breeze. A young Marine saluted it, and then he stood at ease. I looked at him in uniform. He was so young, so tall, so proud. He'd stand out in any crowd. I thought how many men like him had fallen through the years, how many died on foreign soil, how many mothers' tears, how many pilots' planes shot down, how many died at sea, how many foxholes were soldiers' graves. No, freedom isn't free. I heard the sound of taps one night, and everything was still. I listened to the bugle play and felt a sudden chill. I wondered just how many times the taps had meant amen, and the flag had draped the coffin of a brother or a friend. I thought of all the children, of the mothers and the wives, my father's sons and husbands with interrupted lives. I thought about a graveyard at the bottom of the sea, of unmarked graves in Arlington. No, freedom isn't free. I really thank you for your many sacrifices, and God bless you, and God continue to bless America. Thank you so much.